We're back, everybody. So, unfortunately, my lapel mic is new. We're back, everybody, for the stream, but now I've got it fixed. So everything I talked about for the last like 15 minutes is useless. Yay! So this is John Horry with Pathways to Adventure, and still don't have a good camera set up quite yet. Waiting for a USB cord to come in the mail tomorrow to fit the camera that we have. But for now, we have a gentleman that's joining us for a solo playtest. We were trying to get a few more people in tonight, but everyone was, busy, and it's 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, so don't blame them. So we're just going to run through a quick little scenario with him, fighting some skeletons, coming in to try to save the princess or something or the other. He is playing a Tort Barbarian, so his class is barbarian. His background actually is in dancing, so he's a breakdancing turtle barbarian. Very vicious, very mean, very defensive actually, because he starts with 6 armor from his shell, from being a tort, excuse me, and the tort's armor plus whatever else you get armor from cannot exceed 10. And so, being unarmored, he gets the unarmored defense bonus for being a berserker, which is twice their body stat. So that is 6. So 6 plus 6 is 12, but cannot exceed 10. So he gets 10 defense from that. He also gets his dodge as bonus defense on top of his armor. And so he has 3 body stat, so it gives him 3 dodge, but he's also proficient in dodge from being a dancer, which is very powerful. So he's actually starting with 16 defense, but wait, barbarians also, or berserkers also get +2 defense while wielding a 2-handed heavy weapon. So a 2-handed weapon that weighs at least 3 or more weight, he gets 2 more defense. So he's starting with a whopping 18 defense, which is really high. Not the highest you can get in the game, but it's up there, especially for someone not wearing a shield. But our cleric that we have that wears a shield and heavy armor that starts as a dwarf in the actual main campaign that we're playing in person on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Central, is also around that crazy high defense. So it's still balanced because there's always that 1 out of 6 chance that, 18, 16.5-ish percent chance that you're going to be critically hit and hit no matter what your defense is. So even if you stack your defense high like he has, you're still going to get whacked. Good news is when he hits level 2, he'll be able to rage, and that cuts physical damage in half. And for berserkers, it actually cuts all damage types in half. That's their special feature. But you have advantage when people attack you when you're berserk. So they get to roll 2 dice and take the better of the 2. So even though he's got really good defense, there is that 2 rolls chance that he's going to get critically hit. So it does balance out fairly well. And yeah, so he's going to be solo against some reasonably challenging opponents, and we're going to see if he can survive it. He does not have rage as he is level 1. We might make him level 2 since we didn't have anybody else play here. But we'll start off at level 1 and just see how well he can get through the enemies. I have a feeling he'll still break their skulls pretty easily. But yeah, so he's gotten to be the first one to ever playtest the Berserker class, and I was really surprised he picked it because I had just finished revising it up to level 3. With my design goals right now, since I have finally finished the rules document, or at least got it finished enough to get it copyrighted, um, I am going to really double down on the classes, making sure all 30 of them are playable up to level 3, so that we can release a good chunk of them, or maybe even all of them if we meet some stretch goals, as playable classes for people for free, would be our hope. And so people can get a good taste of the game, what they're looking at. Um, I'm pretty sure what we'll do is probably release all the core classes up to level 3. I think that's a more reasonable goal than all of the classes. That way I'm not giving away all the content for free. We do still have bills to pay, unfortunately. My pig needs her pig food. And I like having a house that I can pay the mortgage on. And people to pay that I owe money to because they've been helping me, like my Dungeon Master Assistant, my DMA, or I guess Game Master Assistant, my GMA, who is helping me with the fiddly bits of running my sessions on the in-person days on Saturdays. At 7 p.m., we're playing at a game store called Grappling Gamers here in Wichita Falls, Texas, and Iowa Park, Texas. Um, but yeah, so one of my players is assisting me with keeping track of initiative and damage values on creatures while I'm doing the bulk of the other work. And so I find having an assistant makes running large scale games practical, whereas before it's almost impossible to try to split your focus that much. But we're going to have up to 10 people playing in our game come Saturday if they all are able to show, which most of them have been pretty reliable about showing up. So hopefully my DMA or my GMA will be able to come because I know he's working that day. But I'm paying him $20 an hour, a fair living wage, to be my assistant. So it's $80 for a 4-hour game, not too bad. But with that said, once my friend gets back here, we'll be able to get started. Okay, yeah, he's still getting some stuff done. No crush, bud. I was trying to see if I could drag another friend in here who owes me a favor and be like, hey, come play this game right now. But he's busy. Yeah, the great thing about Pathways to Adventure is if people come in late and want to just jump in, you can have them a character made in under 10 minutes. When we made his character, the only part that took a little bit longer is he was writing everything down on the character sheet, but he was having to do it in Microsoft Paint because I don't have a fillable electronic character sheet yet. That's something I'm going to pay someone to produce because I would not make a good one probably. Although maybe I could. Who knows? Who knows? I might just have to do that myself too, like everything else I've done for this whole project. Yay, independent development. Woo! But yeah, hopefully anybody watching this now or later will appreciate me. But yeah, enough about me griping. Hopefully he'll get to come back soon. What I will do is I'll go over the features that the Berserker has while we're waiting. Let me minimize that, maximize that. Scroll into here. And beautiful. So Berserker, what do we get? So they start off with 3 body, 2 spirit, and 1 mind for the standard base Berserker. And as always, we have the base classes with a standard recommended set of abilities, stats, armor, equipment, etc. You do not have to go by this. This is just the default recommended one that will give you a playstyle that is appropriate for that class. That class is um, heroic fantasy that we want you to be able to realize. Hey, welcome. Want to jump in and play? We can roll you up a character in under 10 minutes. I don't know why I'm narrating this since he can read it and I'm also able to talk, but here we are. So, good seeing you, TK Killer. Or Tyler. Tyler. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, does my lapel mic sound better than my headset mic that I was using? Oh, TK Clear. Okay, gotcha. Much better? Okay, that's good. I was really hoping it was going to turn out good. It was a very affordable, like $20 product. So I'm like, who knows if it's going to be good or not, but glad it is a lot more clear. So we were just going to go over the features of the Berserker since he's going to be playing a Tort Berserker Dancer combo, which is actually, now that we're realizing it, very, very strong. He kind of min-maxed with that choice. He's actually getting a whopping 18 starting defense with that pick. Um, Normally, it would be closer to a 8 to a 10-ish for Berserker, but he's definitely on the tanky side of things, which is fine. Berserkers could get to that level eventually. It's just starting out, they wouldn't get that high. They would start with 6 armor, and get 3 bodies, so there'd be at least 9 starting out without any other investment, which isn't bad. 8 is considered the average armor if you want to get hit 50% of the time at level 1. So they're getting hit a little less. So, yeah. All that makes sense so far? It's a little bit number mathy, but okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll just go through the features real quick. A lot of the features on this list, it seems like a whole bunch at level 1. I forgot to add first there. Let me fix that real quick. Oh, no, wrong thing. Editing first. Okay, back to the preview. So, they start with proficiency in athletics, climb, intimidation, precision, and swim. This makes them very good at navigating the world. They have a climb speed and a swim speed that equals their movement speed, their run speed. So that's really, really handy. They can climb up on creatures and go to town on them with their big two-handed axes. Um, they could climb up a mountainside and leap off at somebody and do a bunch of damage with their leap strike type skills or their plunge skill if they chose to play it that way. But yeah, so the quote for them is Unstoppable Barbarian. I must learn to control and harness the beast within, lest it consume me and those I cherish. I will chain the monster inside. And so that is the kind of class fantasy theme of the Berserker. Each time that they level up, they get a new quote that kind of describes how they're improving and changing over time. And so Wild Fury Lessons. I have learned to control part of my rage and have learned many lessons from pain inflicted and received. So, Murderous Lessons. Know the Barrage, Bladestorm, Flurry, Headshot, Leap Strike, Overwhelm attack maneuvers, and they cost 1 less. Know the Bash tactical maneuver. And then Intimidation Lessons. Know the Coward and Intimidating Roar tactical chance. And we have more I need to add here because I forgot that it was supposed to be 9 maneuver abilities and 3 chance, or technically 6 chance. So I need to add more on those because he does start with 2 spirit, thus 2 attunement, which is a substat of spirit that gives you 3 abilities each attunement. So he has 3 body, which gives him 3 technique. So he has at least 9 techniques that he should know. So I've added them onto his character sheet, but I have not added them back on the document yet. So I'm still going to have to come back and edit that. But Rager, this is a real important feature. Gain rage charges equal to your physique amount and regain 1 charge every 6 rounds, which is 1 minute. Raging Strikes. Once per turn, expend a rage charge to attack again as part of the execute maneuver action, adding body as weapon damage. So what that all means is normally you can only attack twice per turn when you use the execute maneuver action, which is one of the 10 possible actions you can choose to use on your turn. Um, and so you normally would attack twice and then you'd be stuck. Well, they can expend a rage charge and attack a 3rd time and also add a bit of extra damage to it. In this case, 3 damage because he starts with 3 body. So Heavy Metal, this is where you get some of his extra defense. You get +2 defense while wielding 2-handed weapons that weigh at least 3 and gain the benefit of wearing a shield. Because certain skills do more things if you're wearing a shield, like the Bash skill makes the opponent have disadvantage on avoiding it when you bash somebody while wielding a shield. This is the idea, you're just bashing them with a big 2-handed weapon. And so, Heavy Toss. Your 2-handed martial weapons gain the Throne property, which is hilarious because you could take a big honkin' great axe and then just hurl it at somebody, and you're the only class that can do that. I imagine there will be somebody who min maxes the hell out of it and gets enough athletics to be able to carry 5 giant 2-handed axes and throw 5 of them in the span of what is 10 seconds in the universe and just absolutely melt somebody from range. I want to see that happen. That would be beautiful. And so min maxing at its finest. All right, Throwing Axe Expert. You are very accurate with your thrown weapons and gain half your body, or half body, as accuracy on thrown axe weapons, which does include your big axe weapons if you're throwing them with your heavy dice. Heavy weapons training is the same thing, but for heavy weapons. That way, at least 3. You get to add a little extra accuracy to those attacks, which at 4 body and 5 body becomes a +2 instead of a +1. So that's handy. Unarmored defense. This is where he gets a lot of his armor from. You gain armor equal to twice your body stat while wearing no armor. It cannot exceed the armor cap of 10. And not a coward. You cannot wear shields as a manly berserker or womanly, personly berserker. And so, yeah, that is berserker at level 1. And at level 2, which we might start him at since he's by himself against a decent amount of enemies, I have learned Harsh Lesson. Kill them before they kill you. A dead enemy deals no harm to you and yours. And so, Reckless Abandon, you can enter a rage or expend a rage charge to enter the berserk state. And you can stay berserk as long as you want. It's not like in 5th edition where you fall out of it if you don't do various things. To exit it, however, you do have to spend 1 mana point, and berserkers only start with 1 mana, so they automatically become dazed once they end their berserk state. And then dazed is a really bad time. You get a lot of bonuses while dazed, or demerits, I will say, while dazed. And you would have to spend 1 turn taking the focus action to regain 1 point of mana after waiting for 1 turn, 1 round, and not get interrupted for that 1 round, mind you, to regain that 1 mana point to not be dazed. So a berserker might actually be decent reason to put at least 1 mana point with one of your level ups into your resilience. Um, but yeah, so Supreme Rage. Attacks gain additional damage equal to your body aspect while in berserk state. So they get more damage on their already high damage while they're berserk. And then their berserk is special, pain suppression. Berserk state now has damage resistance to all damage types. Other berserks, when other people use berserk or enter berserk state, it only works on physical damage. But for them, it works on all types of damage, including mental and force damage, other magical types of damage. And then Flurry of Arms. I can't stop the momentum my attacks just seem to, and I forgot to finish the quote. Still working on that one. But you get Brutal Flurry. When expending a rage charge, attack twice, which increases to 3 attacks at 6th level and 4 attacks at 9th level. So now they get to attack up to 2 times, and then 2 more times if they expend a rage charge. So they can attack 4 times in 1 attack action, essentially, 1 execute maneuver attack action, which is a heck of a lot of attacks when you're getting all these little bonus damages adding up. And so Berserkers, once they run out of charges, berserk charges, they don't do nearly as much damage. So they're very much how to put it, a resource burning class. But again, they do get those charges back fairly quickly at once per minute. So they do get them back in between combats usually. And so there's no like berserk limits per day. It's just, as long as you have a charge, you can go into berserk. And then Chain of Carnage. When executing additional attacks, each 3rd, 4th, or 5th hit is a critical hit. So if you hit your first 2 attacks successfully, and then hit your bonus attack, and then your actually that should be 4th or 5th or 6th hit. Let me edit that. Then if you hit all of your attacks, essentially is what it's breaking down to. You will get free critical hits, which is very powerful. But you got to be pretty accurate to do that. So, hello, are
Okay.
you back? Nice. I was just going over for our guest in chat, the Berserker stuff. I didn't even get to go
hmm
over all of it with you. I don't think I went over the level 2 and 3 stuff. Um,
Yeah, I came in a little bit earlier, but I was just listening because it was good to listen to.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks. I'm glad you already heard it then. So basically, I was finishing up with theirs that Chain of Carnage is kind of the idea of you getting rewarded for hitting every single attack when you use your
hmm
expend a rage charge to attack additional times. So if you make 2 attacks and then get your extra attack and then get that extra attack at level 3, that fourth attack will actually critically hit if all of the three other ones have hit before it.
Mm,
So it's a real cool, kind of chain maneuver going on there.
mm,
Yeah, monks get a very similar thing. For monk, they get at level 3 100 fist discipline. So when they use their soulfire feature to attack by expending a discipline charge, execute 2 attacks, and then they get to do 3 attacks and 4 attacks at ninth level. Um, with theirs, though, they don't have to spend endurance points with their attacks. So they can just chain them together without having to worry about it. You do have to worry about your endurance as a berserker because you can make 4 attacks, but you still have um, the endurance cost to worry about. So it is a bit
mm,
of a
mhm,
trade off there. Monks are supposed to be the more accurate fast attacker. Um, Warriors are just the I always can attack that many times per turn attacker, and rogues are just their own special blend of I'm going to critically hit and hit more often, and maybe not make as many attacks per round, but they're going to certainly hurt and generally almost always hit. They have a lot of cool
mhm.
stuff, and they're really good at using tools. Their tool ability usage is crazy. Like blind somebody with pocket sand and then immediately go for a backstab because they can't see you, stuff like that. And so, yeah.
Cool.
So, are you ready to jump into it and get to playing?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I sent you a link on Discord, and it should let you join in.
Okay. Let me just check that now.
If I
Mm.
can full screen this. Aha.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And we'll need to make you a character. See if I have someone that would work well enough.
Okay.
Um,
Cool. So we're in Foundry.
let's see here. Little berserker. Let's just see what we get. Oh yeah, we got you. We got you covered. This thing is beautiful. I love it. Oh, that is so perfect. Oh, I have 27.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So yep, has you in here as Ant. There's no password. So let me make create actor, player character, Ant, create new actor, image, file, uh, desktop D&D. Is it desktop artwork? Did I save this? Should have saved it somewhere else. Let me go. No, where did I put that thing? Oh, I know. Pathways, art, massive, berserker, berserker. So, yes. Okay. So, and we are going to configure ownership. And you are owner. Okay, so changes. All right. You see your little turtle character now. Your little tort. It should
Can
be right here.
see the map. I should go into active. Yep.
All right.
All
So do you
right.
see the
I've
whole
got to
map
fill in
or is
some
it?
stuff.
Yeah. And so you don't have to fill in anything because I don't have it set up for
Okay.
that. We're just going to
Hmm.
play it with what we know.
Hmm.
So can you currently see everything or is it have walls and stuff for vision?
No, no. The map looks like it's
Awesome.
fully lit. So
Fully lit. Okay. Let me see lighting controls, shadows, set the fog screen all. Um, besides
Um,
Fog of War, I don't think I have it where I can draw Fog of War at the moment, so we'll just play as if you didn't know what's behind the doors. So, okay,
yeah,
you are
I'm
on
good
a
at that.
mission to hunt down a necromancer, and you are alone on this mission. This is your first time out in this region, but you're a seasoned adventurer already at level one. You've already have a lot of scars built up from the years of fighting since you become a berserker and adopted the rage within yourself. So you have accepted a mission to hunt down a rogue necromancer that has broken into a mansion of a very
Mhm.
rich mermaid. And so you used your swimming ability to swim the distance, holding your breath, breathing with your butthole as turtles do. Fun fact, they breathe through their butt when they're underwater. And you managed to easily make it to the entrance of the mermaid's mansion. How do you proceed?
Okay. Now, just a quick question on the map. I don't seem to be able to see my character on the map specifically.
It should be right
Mm,
here. Well, let me switch. It should be right here.
I also can't move the map around. Am I using the wrong?
Right click should move the map.
Yeah, it's not working for some reason.
That's not good.
Hmm.
And it won't let you press up, down, left, or right to move your character on the map.
No. Yeah. I can't even see my character. I think they're at the bottom of the map.
Yeah, it's at the bottom of the map. Let's see.
Yeah, and I can't
I
for
pulled
some
you to
reason.
scene. Did that pull you in?
No. Uh-oh. Technical dramas.
Okay. So I've got you set up as Ant now. Let me
Mm.
zoom in and see if I pull you here, if it'll pull to screen. Yay for technical difficulties. So what do you see on your screen
Hmm.
now?
I see the what I think is the top part of the map, which is sort of like a shell-shaped thing, um, and with a bunch of rooms and stuff. And then
Yeah.
there's like a hallway or something at the bottom that I can only see part of.
Yeah.
Um,
So why is it?
yeah,
Let me try
maybe I'll
rebooting it.
try. Yeah, I might try coming in again.
Well, I'm going to
Um,
activate one scene and then I'm going to activate the palace again. Okay, reactivating it now. Oh, you had already left. Never mind. Yeah, the reason there's a random NPC called Piano Kun is we had someone that took the evil piano from Mario and was commanding it with a control object and was attacking people with that horrific piano.
nice.
She's like, we used to ride these puppies for miles and would ride on top of it as it moved around. Yeah, I let you back in. Are you having issues?
When I tried to reload it, it didn't work, so I just came through the link again.
Okay.
So I'm just there. It's just starting up, I think now.
Yeah, there's no password, so it should just let you right in.
Hmm.
If I had had more time to prepare, I would have actually put walls up and stuff so you couldn't see through things and have line of sight funsies. why I really love a product called Dungeon Alchemist. It does all that stuff for you, and it's so easy to set up
Hmm.
really cool dungeons in it. Have you heard about it?
Yeah, I think I backed the Kickstarter for that actually.
Thank you, because it's a
I
good
think I have
product. I'm
it.
glad people backed it. They keep adding more cool stuff to it. You can like look at it in 3D
Yeah.
while you're like in first person mode.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I used it in a game I was running and sent like I put the um, characters in on the map, and then I because this was a play by post game, so it wasn't in real time. So I put the
Sure.
characters on the map and then put it in first person mode, and then took screenshots of what they could see and stuff. It was fun.
That's cool. Yeah, play by post is a really good way to do it if you're really looking for somebody and don't have a
Okay,
lot of time.
okay.
Still got
I
it. Okay.
think. Yep, I think I'm in now, and I
Okay.
think I can move
Awesome.
the map, and I can see my character.
Okay. Good. This is good. Okay. And can you move the character around with up, down, left, right, or WASD?
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I
you
just moved
are
them. Yep.
at the doors. So if you move back down just a little bit, you're at the doors, and you are
Mhm.
currently trying to figure out what's the best way forward. Do you try to get in stealthily? Do you try to just bust the door down, go full ham? What do you decide to do?
What's the door like made of?
It's made of beautiful marble artwork. It appears to be made of some type of stone kind of door. Probably marble would be your best assessment. You're not the
Mhm.
sharpest the guy in the box when it comes to identifying fine art and uh, materials of
Absolutely.
things. So
Yeah. Well, is the door locked?
yes, you find with a gentle nudge that the door is in fact locked.
Okay. Um, hmm, well, there's no approach like the direct approach. So yeah, I think I'll back up a little bit and shoulder charge the door.
All right, go ahead and make an athletics check. So just your athletics plus a roll of a d6.
Okay, so I roll a d6 and add
I
the
think yours would
number
be
for my
plus a
athletics. Is that right?
6. Yeah, which should be a 6.
Okay, so let's try doing that on there. Okay.
You know how to make rolls on the system?
I'm trying to remember whether I've got the right syntax for this
It's
one because
slash R and then I think d6. Yep. Oh, you got a 6. You got a critical success. So you barrel through it with little effort. The lock breaks before the door does, and you've opened the door, and you didn't make quite as much noise as you thought you would. It was like a instead of a loud bang. And so, to the best of your knowledge, you're not sure if anybody's been alerted, but it certainly is less obvious than it would have been. Looking through the area, it looks
Mhm.
like stuff's been overturned. It looks like stuff has been, ransacked through. The doors here and here are ajar. The doors right here are not, does not appear to be locked from this distance that you're looking at it from, but are closed.
Mhm. All right. Um, so the so I'll peer into the doors that are one of the doors that's ajar,
Okay.
and just sort of peek in the room, sort of
Okay.
just
Which
have a
one are you
quick
go
look to
towards
see if there's
first?
anything worth. Hmm?
Go ahead and move towards the one you're going to look at.
Okay, go here.
Okay. So the door is right up here, and looking through the door, you can see just more stuff that's been ransacked around here and here. Even the beds have been overturned over here. Clearly, someone is looking for something. And surprisingly, some valuable looking things like pearl necklaces and rings are scattered on the floor. So you kind of understand that this is probably not someone who's a thief looking for something valuable to sell, but it's someone looking for something important to them. That's kind of what
Hmm.
you've discerned so far.
Okay. Um, well, there's plenty of time to look um, for money later, so I'm going to move ahead up to the doors at the end here
Okay.
and just whoops, not sure why I keep
That's
spinning myself around, but
if you hold control and use your spin
I'm
wheel,
going.
it'll turn them around.
Okay, that's what I keep doing.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, come up to that door and just kind of see whether it's. Did you say this one isn't locked?
From the distance, it didn't appear to be locked, and now that you're closer, you can definitely tell it's unlocked. If you jiggle the handle, it
Mhm.
slowly, quietly turns.
Okay, all right. And in that case, then I will open the door.
All right. As you open the door, in front of you are two skeletons. They have been standing guard, and although they are alert, they appear to be suddenly very surprised at your presence, and you get advantage on your initiative roll. So your initiative is a roll of a d6 plus the highest of your acuity, technique, or attunement. And so for you, it's going to be your technique at 3. So it's simply a roll of slash R D6 will be your
Mhm.
initiative, and they rolled a 5 plus 2.
Okay.
They rolled a total of a 7, so
Um,
yours is. You get
it's
to roll
plus.
twice and take the best of the two.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But you got advantage because you noticed them before they noticed you. So in this game, there's no surprise rounds, so there's no like you can't act on first turn if surprise thing. It's just the who has initiative gets if you get the jump on somebody, you have advantage. If you're completely caught unawares, you have disadvantage. So a 7, that's
Hmm.
not bad. All right, so you tied with them, but your stat is higher, so you win the tie, and so you do get to
Hmm.
go first. The skeletons in front of you
All
are
right.
clad in what appear to be chainmail armor and are not carrying shields, I don't believe. Yes, they're actually those are two knights, but I should have put skeletons there. I don't know why I put knights. Let me change that out real quick. Uh, Baddies, undead.
Okay. So if I wanted to use an attack maneuver at this point, um, let me see.
Since they're wearing small bucklers and long swords and have bows on their backs, and otherwise appear to be wearing leather armor, so fairly unarmored compared to most people.
Mhm. All right.
Anybody still in chat, by the way? Just checking in.
Let me see. What have I got? Okay, so I'll try the flurry, I think, maneuver.
Yeah. So let me make sure I got the mental
So,
math on these guys' armor. They got 4 plus buckler shield is 2, so they've got 6 defense plus 2 body. Yep, so they have 8 armor. Is what you can kind of assume by looking at them. And so you decide to go for the big hit and try to do your triple hit flurry. And so go for it. Go ahead and roll 3 times.
okay.
And
So
yours is going to be a plus 4 to hit, plus the No bonus because it's flurry. So it's 4 plus the d6.
Okay.
So
So am I rolling three d6s to see which is the highest, or
you're
am I
rolling
adding them together?
three separate attacks.
Oh, three separate attacks. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. All
Yeah,
right.
Flurry and Barrage are the only abilities in the game besides like the magic missile type spells that shoot out multiple bolts. Those are the only times you'll ever make multiple rolls on one turn for one thing.
Hmm. Okay.
So the first one's a 3 plus 4, and so they have 8 armor, so that first one is not a hit. The second one is not a hit. And the third one is a critical fail, an epic failure, unfortunately. So the first two, the skeleton manages to barely deflect with its sword and its buckler, and then the next one you try this massive overhand swing, and it just steps back, and your weapon gets stuck in the ground for like a half a second, and then you pull it loose. So that's your first attack action of your execute attack maneuvers. You do still have potentially 3 more, or potentially 2 more if you want to
Wow.
blow a
Okay.
charge.
Um. So in that case, um, so I can choose another maneuver then? Is that, can I do that, or
Yes. Yeah, you cannot use the same maneuver twice in one turn or in
Mhm,
one execute action.
mhm.
You could do it if you had a second execute action, but um, with your charge, when you spend a charge, you can use any maneuver you want, even if you've used the others before. Um, but otherwise, you can't use the same maneuver twice.
Okay, that's all right. So then, with that not working, um, then I'll try overwhelm.
Okay, you're going for the big hit. So you've used 1 stamina for the flurry, and now 2 stamina for this one, so that's 3 of your 4. And so
Mhm.
go ahead and roll that big roll. And let's see if you get it. You got to beat an 8.
Okay, so it's 1d6 plus 4 again.
Oh no, another nat fail. So unfortunately, you try the big overhand swing this time, and you're like, "Ah!" And it just steps back another foot, and you miss it again, and it starts cackling at you. They both start cackling, and then they go to attack, unless you want to move away or do something else.
Um, no, no, I think that's going to be pretty frustrating. So yeah, I think he'll still be standing there.
Just really angry, not quite raging yet because you're not level 2. All right, so the skeletons go to attack you. One of them goes to attack with the precision attack, which is a 10 plus their bonus, which is a body bonus of 2. So that is 12 plus a d6. So roll 6 plus 12.
Sorry.
3. So 15 does not hit you. And so it goes in straight for the stab, and it's like positive it's going to hit you, and you just deflect it with ease with your great axe. It tries again with um, a disengaging attack, and so it's going to attack you and leap backwards. So that would be a 5 plus 5, so that's a plus 7 to the roll. Ooh, that's a 12. It still does not hit you, but it does disengage and leap backwards. And it
Mhm.
starts moving 5, 20 back to there. The other skeleton then takes its turn and starts to attempt to attack you with its precise attack as well, as it can tell that you're a hard opponent to hit.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it also cannot hit you because your defense is so high. It uses the same disengage attack, which, unless he gets a critical hit, will not hit you, but we'll see. Nope. And so he also leaps back to not provoke attack of opportunity and runs back
Mhm.
over here to this exceptionally large one. And it is now your turn. The large one has not moved As far as you know, it could be a statue. It might be a skeleton that's animated. You're just not sure yet. You'd have to inspect it to
Okay.
be sure with your mind, which is
Mhm.
not your strong point. But it is now the start of round two.
Okay. Um, I know that one of my abilities is I can. Oh wait, no, yeah, I'm gonna use a hand axe.
Right, you're gonna throw it.
Um, and throw it. I'm just kind of like enjoying trying out all these different things.
Yeah.
um,
You're gonna do the
so,
barrage one where you throw three of them.
oh, that looks good. Yep, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that.
All right, and the range on that ability is, I think, pretty good. What does it say on there?
12, 12
12.
range.
Yeah, so you can chunk that thing from 60 feet. So you're definitely well within range. Start making them three attack rolls.
Okay.
And it's going to be
All right.
0
So
plus 4. Yeah, 0 plus 4.
yeah, it's the same. I think like that's the same for melee and ranged.
Hey, you got a crit.
Um,
Nice. So your very first toss of the
oh
three
wow.
tosses goes straight into the skeleton's skull and splits it in half. Go ahead and double the damage you would deal. So it's going to be your body
Hmm.
plus your. Oh, we keep forgetting to add your +1 accuracy for throwing weapons and for big weapons. So technically, you would have hit earlier on
Oh
that
yeah.
4. So we got to remember a 4, 5, or 6
Ah,
hits. But you didn't matter because you critically
okay.
hit on this first one.
Hmm.
And so
And
it's.
it's damage times body. Weapon damage times body.
Yeah, so
Is
it's
that right?
3. Yeah, it's weapon damage. So it's 3 from the body stat and then 3 from the weapon, which is 6. And then doubled is 12. So you one shot it, and it is dead.
Nice.
And that's still two attacks left, so you
Okay.
can attack different
Oh,
targets.
I will
Part of
use.
the same roll.
Um.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
as
so I've
far
got
as the
three.
barrage, yeah, you get 3 attacks with it. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. That's-
another crit, it's dead. And then you still
wow.
got that
Cool.
third attack there. Do you want to go ahead and just try it at the big guy,
Oh
just in
yeah, for
case?
sure.
All right, and then that third attack comes out. So you were just pissed at these guys. They tried running away from you. You just chunked 2 axes at once, took them both in the head. They both crumbled to the ground. And the big guy, you throw it at him, and then with supernatural speed, it breaks it with its shield. And you see your axe sticking out of its shield, and then it lowers its shield, and you see piercing green dots of eyes staring at you through this dark skull. And you still have your
Nice.
turn.
Uh-huh. So, um, I just used barrage. So I will try headshot.
All right, go ahead and roll it. It also has a +0 to hit, so it's a +5 for yours because it's 3 base from your body +1, no, +4 to hit, right? Yeah,
Oh,
two.
was it four?
Yeah, it's 4, so 6. So this guy's got a shield, a good shield. He's not very dodgy. Let's see. I'm trying to think of his stats. He's completely unarmored. Um, would have a body of at least 4 because he's a giant creature or a large creature. So he's got 4 from the body, and then 4 from the shield because it's a kite shield. So let me double check that real quick for kite shields.
Sure.
I think it's +6. Yeah, so he has 10 defense, is what you would estimate. And so,
Hmm.
unfortunately, your roll was a 7. So, You
Mhm.
throw a really well aimed shot right at the head, and again he blocks it and just like flings it to the side with his shield. And then you have a little movement left if you wish. Otherwise, he is coming right at you.
Um, yeah, I'm. How from the map, it looks like there's a walkway with through a thing with like water on the sides.
Yes, sir.
Well, my turtle likes water, so I think I might actually head for the water
It's not a bad idea.
and kind of just sit out here somewhere and
Interesting
see what
choice. I
happens.
like it. So you moved one, two, and then if you hopped in the water here, that'd be three, four, five.
I can move down a little bit here or something. I think maybe would that be a better spot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is Bonebutt the name of that monster specifically? Is that like a special character name? If you're talking, I'm not hearing you. It's gone really quiet.
Hear me now?
Ah, yes.
Yeah, my lapel mic died and I didn't
That's better.
realize it. I thought you had gone link dead or something. Let me fix that real quick. Yeah, I was like, "Hello, are you there? Can you hear me?" And I was like, "No, you cannot because my mic is dead." I'm gonna have to worry about that when I do my live stream now. I just bought them and I hadn't charged them yet, so I guess they only had so much battery on them. Let me go ahead and get that charging while I'm.
Mm,
Here we
all
go.
good.
Alrighty, so back to where we was. All right, so it is now your turn. He's chanting something, so you know he's using some kind of magical ability for next turn. So if you don't interrupt him between now and then, he's going to get it off. So let's see if you can interrupt him somehow.
Okay. Is there any kind of like, probably can't do it from swim, but I was thinking about trying to like, yeah, I can't charge. What about grappling?
Yes, you can definitely do a grapple. I'm trying to think what abilities you have for grappling. You're not specialized in grappling, so it wouldn't work as well as someone who is. And it is a large creature,
Hmm.
so it would be kind of hard to grapple him. You could climb on him, however, and try to get to a weak spot and try to see if he has a weak spot.
Well, yeah, yeah, that's right. You mentioned that before. Yeah, let's try that. I just like trying out stuff that's sort of
Yeah. So
using
let's
some
go
of the different
ahead
mechanics and stuff.
and yeah. So let's go ahead and just roll one for your intelligence, or not your intelligence, your mind. One plus a d6, and let's see if you succeed on your knowledge check roll.
Okay, 1d6 plus 1. Okay.
Perfect. Yes. So looking at this creature, you can see about its left or right clavicle. It appears that it has been broken before at some point, and it looks like that would be a weak spot on its weapon arm. If you were to hit that, you would critically hit. And so
Okay.
to reach it, though, you
So,
would have to climb up it or throw at it.
mhm. So let's do climb, and that's something that I'm good at
Yep.
because I'm proficient in climb. Uh, so do I need to make a roll to see how that goes?
No. You just rush over to him and you start climbing on top of him, and you get up to where you're in easy range of that. Now, you do have one hand only available while climbing, so you'd have to use your hand axe
Hmm.
instead of your big axe, but you certainly can make an attack roll against him, and then we'll see how you do.
All right. Okay. Cool. Um,
And since you're on him where he can't use his shield, he only is going to have his body's defense, so he's only going to have a
mhm.
+4 defense to try to avoid your attack.
Okay. Um, so with a hand axe, I could do flurry. Is that something I could do?
You absolutely can. Chop, chop,
Okay.
chop this guy down to
So
size.
yeah. Six plus.
So a 6 is a hit, and that's a crit because you're hitting his weak spot. So what's the damage?
Uh, the damage on the flurry is weapon melee damage times body.
So 3 for the body plus the weapon damage is, I think, 3. So it should be 6. So you just did 12 damage on the first hit.
Okay. And then.
Nice. That's another crit since you're hitting the weak spot. That's 12 more damage. So we're
Cool.
at 24 damage already on this big, big guy. He's looking really rough. You notice there's blood coming out of the marrow from his bones. He's definitely below half health. He's bloodied.
Okay.
And another crit with the third hit for 12 more damage. And he crumples to the ground as you have taken him out.
Nice.
And then the two
Cool.
archers that you did not notice are attacking you from range now that they can see you
Oh
just fine.
no.
And you see one draw his bow back at full force and unleashes at you. It has +0 to accuracy, but he's going for a kill shot. So let's see if he can get it. Roll
Mhm.
1d6. He's got 2 body, so that's +2 to hit. He's probably going to have at least a little technique, so we're going to say he's got +3. +3. And that is a 6, which definitely does not beat your AC. So it comes in and you just like easily dodge that first arrow, and then the other skeleton
Mhm.
does the exact same attack with the 4. Also, you easily dodge that attack. This is your shell takes the hit as you just turn around, and
Hmm.
It's beautiful imagining your character with how you look, just climbing up this, like swimming real fast, climbing up this guy, and just hack, 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 and he's done. I just love that. And so
Mm.
climbing does take one stamina to do, and so I think you still have plenty of stamina though. You should have two, or maybe one left because you would have recovered two last turn. You spent three. I think that sounds right. So you still got your one stamina point left. And so
That's right. I forgot to track that. Hmm.
they decide to try
Um,
something really nasty. One of them tries to use the um, oh, what is it called? I'll remember it in a second. The hemorrhage attack on you, the bleeding shot. What is the name of it? Oh, I will remember my own abilities eventually. Um, piercing, piercing shot. I think. Yeah.
mhm, that makes sense.
Uh, piercing shot. No, it has a good name. What is it? Puncture. Yeah, puncture. Tries to hit you with puncture.
Yeah.
That's going to
Hmm.
be a plus. It's a 1d6 plus. Doesn't matter because you're tanky as hell. 1d6 plus 8. Yeah, because it's 3 plus the 5. Ooh, that's a 13. Luckily, you are armored to the teeth. So what almost hits you, you tuck your head in your shell and it hits the back of your shell and flies off. You know, what would have hit a major artery. And then the other one follows suit with the exact same attack, desperately praying that it will hit, and it does not. And so this skeleton goes back this direction. This one goes back this direction. And they both attempt to hide from you. So they're going to roll a 1d6 plus their stealthiness would be proficient, I'm going to say, for these guys since they're archers. So that's going to be a body of 2. So plus 4. This is the fun thing. I didn't pre plan these skeletons. This is just me rolling with it as a DM. All right, so one rolled a 6. The other rolled a 6 as well. And so they are both hidden from you currently. You don't hear them, you don't see them, they're out of sight. And you know they went that way, but you're not sure if they're still there. They could have gone through the doors. You're just not sure at this point. So to find them, you would need to use the
Okay.
search action, which is a mental thing, which you're not the best at, but you know, hey, you could try it.
Mm,
Or you could just rush on and try to find them.
yeah, that seems more likely um, to be um, what I would do. Um, yeah, just go wherever they go in the direction they were heading and see if I can find them.
All right. So this one would be the closest. 2, 3.
I didn't. If you did a like a ping, I didn't see it.
Well, the one in this direction is the closest to you. You would have seen. So you could go crossways.
Okay,
2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. So you could get to right here in one movement.
to about here.
To right here. You can go diagonal. So you could get all the way up to
To be
here.
one. Okay,
And so coming around the corner, you do see a
cool.
skeleton kneeling down, trying to hide. It notices you as you notice it. And you still have your full action available.
Okay. Um, in that case, I will. Um, I want to do the. Oh, where is it? Hold on, sorry. Leap strike.
Ooh, fun choice. All right, so you move at least 5 forward, and then you can leap your leap distance, which is a really weird one to calculate, but it is going to be your athletic score um, doubled, no, tripled, triple your athletic score divided by 5. rounded to the nearest 5 rather. And so yours is going to be 6.
Trip.
So 6 times
Yep.
3 is 18. And so you can easily clear
Hmm.
that distance. And so you leap in straight at it.
Cool.
It's got a +5 to hit. Roll for that roll. And these guys are very much unarmored. They are going to be very easy to hit. And I will be very surprised if you don't one-shot it. Oh yeah, that's a hit for sure. And so you come rushing in. You've moved at least 3 squares, which is the maximum distance of your leap strike, to deliver a decisive blow. And we can figure out the damage because that's fun, but you definitely one-shot it.
Cool.
I love leap strike. It's fun. It's great. And so if you want to continue
Yeah.
moving, you can use the dash maneuver to run even, or the
Hmm.
sprinting dash to go further.
Yep. Because there's a door ahead, isn't there?
There's a door right there, and it also does not appear to be
Yep.
locked.
All right. So I will open this door.
Okay. And upon opening the door, you are greeted with a ghost that immediately notices you, and it's going to roll its initiative right now, and we'll see where it lands. 6 plus 3. Oh, it rolled a 6, which is below your initiative, so it's going to go after you still. And so you still
Okay.
have 1 attack left on your turn, and it is still your turn.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
ghosts do not have a lot of health, but they're very deadly.
I think I'll use Blade Storm.
Okay, you'd have to move closer to use it, but that is definitely a
Um,
thing you could do.
oh, that's all around.
Yeah, it hits like.
That's sort of for when I'm surrounded by people. Okay, so in that case, let's go with what's that one? Oh, that's ranged. I'll just go with the flurry again. So I'll move in closer.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
And
use
just
the
started
flurry.
chopping. Yep. You can hit it from diagonal too if
Chop,
you don't
chop,
want to have
chop.
to move as far. Yeah, roll those 3 attacks, baby. 2. I'll give you a hint. You're going to hit this thing no matter what because they have very low AC. They're deadly if you don't deal
Okay.
with them, but they're pretty easy to kill. 2 and 2. Yep, it's dead. So you're just cleaving through the undead
Oh,
today. I'm not even pulling punches either. They're like spellcasters, so they have 6 hit points plus 4 at level 1. So one of your flurry
mm,
attacks is like almost all of its health, and then the second attack hitting definitely kills it. So you bust through a door,
ouch.
you bust some ghosts. You are the Ghostbuster,
Cool.
and that ends your
Um,
turn. I think, unless you want to move a little
yep.
bit more.
No, that's fine. I'll stay there for now.
Okay. Um, something happens. Let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Through the door, you hear cackling, something of that nature,
Hmm.
and that is all you've heard.
Mm, okay. Cackling, eh?
Yep, and
That
now it's your
sounds
turn.
like a good reason to go up to the door and open it.
Yep. All right. So seeing here, you see a beautiful scene of this mosaic on the floor with this pearlescent color. And in the distance over here, very overt, you see a dude clad in very dark armor, wielding a large 2-hand sword with a silver shimmering silver mask that makes his face look very distorted. And in front of him is the
Mhm.
skeletal archer. And he immediately assumes a stance
Okay.
to fight you and is going to roll his initiative.
Hmm.
Oh, he rolled higher than you by
I'll
a lot.
say finally,
So,
a worthy opponent.
yep, literally. And so he will go before you on the next round, but it is still your turn. So, what do you do?
Um, well,
I think you're at three
mm,
stamina points. I don't know if you've been keeping track.
I'm really bad at that. Actually, that's something I need to pay more attention to. But
Let's see, you sprinted, you attacked once,
um,
you attacked again. So that's three stamina. So you would get two back. So you've got to be at least at three.
yep, okay. So if I um, can I use that leap attack again? Where's that
Yep.
one? Leap strike,
You can
because
leap
that
out of the
enables me
water
to
to strike
move
him
and then
too.
leap, doesn't it?
Yep. And
Hmm?
you can leap while you're in the water too. Imagine like you're
Oh,
dolphining it
cool. Yeah,
up and
that's much
just
more
free
appropriate.
willing it. Yeah, I never thought about that, but yeah, you could
Yeah,
free willy it.
yeah, that sounds great.
I love my game. I love that you can be a
Um,
free
and
willy
I'll
portal berserker. Port berserker.
yeah, and I'll hit him as a, and kind of ignore the archer really
Okay,
at this
that
point.
works. So you move one and
Uh,
then two, three, and do the leap strike from that distance to cover three. And you go for the hit with your big axe, just out of the
mhm.
water like Aquaman over here. And then roll your attack. Plus, so it's
All
five
right.
base with leap strike plus your four to hit, so nine bonus. And you notice he's in full plate heavy
Oh wow.
armor, so you know he's got at least 10. At
Right.
least 10
Okay.
armor, and he's got at least three or two body for sure. And so you know you're probably going to have to roll around a 13 to successfully hit him.
Hmm.
Oh, it was so close. But you're actually lucky. It's meet or exceed, and he has exactly 12 armor or 12 defense. And so he's
Yeah.
very surprised as you leap across the water. He goes to block it with his sword, but you overwhelm him with your momentum, and you manage to connect. For how much damage?
Damage is leap strike. What's that? Weapon damage per one distance leaped.
Plus your flat, so it's going to be
Uh,
6 plus 6 plus 6. That's a lot.
hmm.
That's a lot of damage. 18, I think. Does that sound right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so you just did a devastating first attack of 18 damage to him, and then you have your remaining attack. Oh, you can also do any of your other maneuvers if you have enough stamina, by the way. The tactical maneuvers and skill maneuvers, you can use an infinite number of those per turn, if I wasn't clear on that. But
Oh,
you're,
yeah, I kind of forgot about those. Um, what I kind of want to do, um, is there like a, oh wait, but I've used all my stamina right now.
you've used one of your three that you had.
Oh, okay.
Just down to
Um,
two left.
so I kind of want to do the intimidating roar because that sounds hilarious.
Okay. So he has to save against your roar, and your roar is a +2, and he actually is quite willful. He actually has a very good resolve of
Hmm.
+4, so we'll see what happens. 6
Hmm. Sure.
+4. So he has to beat a 3 +2, so he has to beat a 5. So his chances are very high that
Okay.
he'll win, but we'll see.
Yep.
Oh, he critically succeeded. So you roar at him to
Yep.
intimidate you. You see him just brush off some of the blood and says, "You'll have to try harder," and just ignores your
Okay.
roar like you're a petulant child at a daycare. All
Cool.
right.
I mean, a
So,
turtle roaring sounds kind of funny anyway.
yeah. So the skeleton here, he attempts to move away. Um, you could attack him, but you've only got one endurance, so I probably wouldn't. And he gets over here and
Mhm.
he goes against all hopes. He keeps aiming for that hell money shot of trying to really hurt you with the heavy full draw. If it crits, it's going to do a lot of damage and could down you. You never know. Let's see here. Um, 6 plus doesn't matter. Oh no. He comes in with a brutal hit. Luckily, though, this is where you get to choose some stuff. So this hit will knock you to 0 hit points. There's
Okay.
no way about it. So you are knocked to 0 hit points. You could try to use the your reaction to lower that by half. I think you have that tactic. That one skill ability is a
Um,
reaction when you are attacked, or maybe it's just for morale damage. I can't remember. I'll have to look.
yeah, that's when inflicted with morale damage. Uh, yep. Yep. That's it. So nope.
Oh boy. So yeah, so you are in the dying state.
Nice.
So at the start of your turn, you're at death's door. This skeleton is like having the time of his life. If he had a spirit, he would be in high spirits, but he's not in high spirits because he has no spirit. But he has done his job by golly, and he drew that bow as far back as he could, and he unleashed on you. So
Nice.
you try to go in your shell, but this time it aims down through your shell and hits you straight through the head, doing quite a bit of damage. You are bleeding out profusely. You're struggling. Your movement speed is reduced by 4, and you can only crawl. And the only action you can take now is to use an item. Luckily, you do have 2 health potions. So it is now the start of the round, and
Mhm.
he looks down at you with pity and says, "A mere archer. To take out one as you. That is a sad way to end your tale, is it not? I give you a chance. Leave this place and never return, and speak of nothing you've seen, and I may let you live. What is your answer?" And that is his turn. And now it's your turn.
Um, I will quaff a health potion.
All right, so you use your item action to drink a health potion. I forget, I think it returns 10 hit points. And what do
Mhm.
you say to this guy
Okay.
clad in black who's bleeding a little bit?
No way. I'm here for glory.
All right. So be it then. All right, the skeleton tries to shoot you again. You're gonna regret not shooting this damn skeleton when you had the chance. Oh,
Yes, I know.
this is the MVP skeleton of the day.
Yep.
Oh, no, he tries another full heavy draw. Misses you. Then he tries a hemorrhaging shot against you. Oops. Oh no, you are hemorrhaged. So you take 6 points of damage from the shot
Love it.
because yep. And then now you are bleeding. So every time you move, you're going to take 3 damage. And at the start of each turn, you're going to take 3 damage. This will happen until you've recovered at least
Okay.
1 hit point.
Okay.
And it is your turn was the drinking the potion. Okay, so it is now his turn. He's like, "Fine, you've
Hmm.
consigned yourself to death. I gave you a choice. You chose poorly. 6 plus. I got to remember his stats now. So he's got at least 4 body, no, 3 body. So it's 3 plus his skills of 5 is 8. Oh no! Oh no! It was good knowing you. So he goes, and you see him take a really precise stance, and then just stabs right through your shell, and then pulls the blade out. Your neck starts bleeding profusely, and then he laughs at you, and then he just strikes you again. And you need to make a death saving throw.
Ooh,
It's,
what
it's
does
a
that involve?
it's a 1d6.
Uh,
Anything lower than a 3, and you are dead.
oh, okay. All right.
You're back at death's door.
1d6. Oh, goody. What do we got?
You got a 5. And I'm not applying the rule where you get disadvantage if you've already been at death's door in this encounter. But just if we
Hmm.
were, go ahead
Yep.
and roll again. Let's see what it would have been if you had rolled disadvantage. I'm giving you a
Okay,
help
cool.
since you're by yourself. Oh no, you would have died. That would have been the end of your tale. A brave death for a
Uh,
noble character. So in one timeline you died, but in this timeline you're still hanging on. All right, it is now the start of your
okay.
turn. You need to make a death saving throw. You made one
Oh,
because he
another
hurt
one.
you.
Yep.
Butt clench moment.
Whew.
All right, you barely hang on, and you've got your other potion in hand.
Mm.
Technically, the only
Um.
action you can take.
Oh, it's the only action I can take. That's right. Yeah. So that. Yep.
You can move, but that would be a horribly bad idea right now.
Mm. Yep. I will take the potion.
Gug gug, 10 hit points back. You are no longer bleeding profusely. Do you wish to move?
Um. Hmm. Yeah. Actually. Uh. Is there an action where I don't provoke some kind of attack that I can
There
take?
is the disengage
Um.
maneuver, but you don't have it available right now because you had to use your action to use an item
Oh,
instead of take a maneuver.
that's true. Okay. Well, in that case, I will not move.
Alrighty. So Skeleton Bro goes. Let's see if he continues his rolls of bullshittery. What is this shit? He got 3 crits in a row on you. What is this shit? So you are unfortunately
That's hilarious.
the dice want you to die. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna give him
Yeah.
disadvantage on this
Oh,
roll
this
because
is good.
he's surprised that you just keep coming back alive. So if he gets another 6, it's just meant to be. Okay, he rolled a 5. He still doesn't hit you, but the skeleton, you see him starting to tremble with fear, like, it won't stay dead. It won't stay dead, master. And so, all right, it is now top of the round, and he is up here, and you see him go, you should have the better discretion of when to die. Now you die in pain. And you see him start to chant something, and
Hmm.
that is his turn. You hear him say,
Okay.
by the darkness within me and without, I come forth, my beast, the one from within that devours the light. I command thee. And while he's saying that, you get to take your turn.
All right. Can I climb on this person, or am I too similar a size?
It has to be one size larger than you.
Yeah. Okay. I figured. All right. In that case, let's do something that will pay off. Let's go with and something with a better chance to hit. Actually, um, I think
Almost gave
Blade
you helms.
Storm.
I almost gave you helm splitter, but I ended up not going for that. So, you've already done how much damage to him was it earlier? It was a lot.
18.
18. Okay. He's not bloodied yet, but you did do a grievous wound to him. You can tell it definitely hurt him.
Hmm.
And so roll that attack.
Okay.
I'm just surprised you haven't killed that skeleton yet. He's been the biggest pain in your butt. All right, 5 plus 14. Yep, 14. That hits. Absolutely hits. So you whirl
Okay.
around with your great axe
So
and you manage to connect. You split his body open
mhm.
from the gut. He is bleeding profusely now. He is bloodied below half health. And so, how much damage did you did? We did 18 plus whatever you're currently doing. You like his name? It's Shadow Knight Patera.
Yeah, that's a cool name. Um, so next will be um,
That's how much damage that was. It's 9 plus 3, I think. Does that sound right for
mhm,
the damage you
body
dealt?
plus 9. Yep.
Yeah, 3 plus 9, so that's words 21. So he's at 29 damage taken. And he is definitely below half health now. He's definitely bloodied. We still have one attack left.
hmm So
Oh, and he has to make a saving throw to see if he maintains his concentration while chanting. 6 plus 3, 3. He definitely maintains his concentration. He continues to speak despite being grievously wounded.
okay. Hmm, I'll do
Oh, look at the time. Flurry, you say?
yeah, I think flurry is the one to do here.
Yeah, one of them has to hit, right?
Um,
Right? Right? All right, let's roll
it's
those 3 attacks. 1d6 plus 4.
1d6 plus 4.
The first one misses as he deflects it with his blade while still continuing his chant. Ooh, that's would be closer, but he still is deflecting it. Chink. For Flurry, you got to get a critical hit
Mm.
against this highly armored opponent, but can you roll it? Oh, so close. He deflects a third time. He says, as he's finishing his chant, you start to feel him smiling behind his mask and glower. And then he says at the end, evens or odds? What do you choose?
What was that, sorry?
He says, evens or odds?
Odds.
You have chosen Han. So he reaches out towards you with his fist, and you see black energy of the darkest hue you've ever seen shoot forth at you as he makes his attack with advantage. 6 plus, he's really good at this. Let's see, it's spirit 3 plus 5 is 8. I think that's right. Yeah. Now his spirit would be plus 4 at his level. No, it'd be plus 5 actually, technically speaking, because he's at least level 3. Yeah, you're fighting a level 3rd level character, by the way. I wanted the boss to be
Cool.
chunky. All right. If you had said evens, he was going to heal himself with it and shroud himself in shadow, but instead the Shadow Knight uses harm
Mhm.
and does harm touch on you. I'm gonna roll, but let's see what the bacon says. It's a 14. It does not connect. Oof. So you see that black energy had been preparing the whole last turn, shoots at you, and you manage to block it with your weapon and deflect it off. And you can tell he seems very surprised. And then he goes to attack. And so then he executes his attack action and goes for a swing at you.
Mhm.
He goes for a precise swing, so that's going to be 10 plus the 4. So that's 14. Oh, he crits. Oh my. How much health did you have? You had 10?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no way out of this one. You're gonna die unless you get really
Nope.
lucky. Alright, so he stabs it through you and then pulls it out and flicks the blood off, kind of cocks his neck to the side, and says, I've always wondered what a undead force would be as a minion. You'll make a fine squire. Sturdy bones on this one. Alright, make your death saving throw. The skeleton's already ran away, by the way. He's terrified of you.
Uh,
A 6! Against all the odds, you recover your stamina and you staunch your bleeding enough to stand back up one last time at 1 HP health point. It is now your turn.
wow.
He looks at
Um,
you and he says, Do you know how to die? Do you know what death is? Do you know how life works? As he's just getting very furious that you will not die. Turtle, too angry to die.
yep.
This is perfect. This is such a
The
cinematic game.
angriest turtle.
God, I hope people watch this later. This has been the most like dramatic game ever.
um, okay, let's see. I wait. Um,
Mind you, he's on his last legs too. I'll go ahead and give you a hint. He's at 11 hit points. Health points. HPs.
I haven't actually used any of my rage tokens yet, have I?
Oh, you've got plenty of those saved up. This is a good time to blow them.
Yeah, I think so. Um, and so yeah, I can once per turn expend a rage to attack again. Oh, okay.
I
So
would
yeah,
go
I
for
should
an
do that.
angry flurry.
Um,
The reason I say that is you get to add your body damage to each of those flurry hits. So if one of those flurries connects, that's 9 damage. If it's crit, he's dead. So I would just do double flurry.
yeah.
Flurry, just try it out. Just go full run. 6 attacks on him.
All right, let's do it. Why not? So that's
Some kind of
one d
final stand.
six. Yep, 1d6 plus 4.
Yes.
Um, and that's okay. So here's
All
the
right.
first
Your
one.
first one catches the ground, and you kind of chink the fine, beautiful floor. That's going to cost you later in repairs. You try it again, and you miss another spectacular time. He just steps back, laughing at you. He says, "Pathetic." Your character says 1d6 plus 4 in universe. You can hit enter
All
and then
right.
up. If you do enter and then or shift and then up, it'll let you repeat the roll. And you finally crit him. He is no longer laughing. He is coughing up blood profusely, and you manage to catch him right in the clavicle, and he's starting to do that kind of thing. And you still got your 3 extra attacks.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
This is why I like the D6 system. There's a lot more chances for crits in both directions.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
For
you
sure.
unfortunately do miss that first one. He manages to barely with one hand deflect it with his blade as he's using the other to stem his artery. And then you decapitate him. And he falls to the ground. Well, not quite decapitate him. You've got him on the ground, bleeding out profusely. He can't speak even. He's looking at you. His mask falls off, and you see streams of tears going down his undead face as you realize he himself is, in fact, undead as well. What do you do?
Um, at this point, I think I I say I pity you,
He
and
makes a
then
save.
just finish him off, put him out of his misery.
Before you can even do that, he slumps to the ground, his mask falls away, and his undeath leaves his body as the dead is now put back to rest. And over here, you notice something glinting in the pillows in the cushy looking throne.
Um, is that sort of up from where I am? So I didn't see where that
It'd
was.
be right there. You notice something glinting, positioned like right nicely in the middle of this big red pillow.
Okay. Yep. I'll head over to there.
Okay. All right. And you find an oval shaped thing with a small thing swimming inside of the oval. It's about the size of a basketball. It's very clear, and when you go to touch it, if you wish to touch it, it would feel glassy but warm. You
Mm,
peer into it to see
okay.
what's inside.
Yep.
Right. You see a small snake like creature with little bitty limbs and a forked tongue and little horns coming out the back of its head. And you realize this is a sea dragon's egg. You've never seen one before, and you know that they are exceptionally rare and very valuable. What do you do with it?
Hmm.
Find out on the next edition of One Shot Pathways to Adventure. So, I always like to get
Cool.
feedback at the end of games like this. I always ask people, what was your favorite thing that happened? What was your least favorite thing or thing that you wish could have been done better about the game? And then lastly, what was something you learned?
Um, I like the simplicity of the D6 resolution. It makes it just straightforward. Um,
Keeps the turns fast, I
and
noticed.
so yeah, and so that's um, that kind of yeah, I sort of like the way it sort of speeds everything up. Um, also liked having like a, a list of kind of powers or maneuvers
Mm-hmm.
to choose from. I kind of like that. It reminds me of um, um, reminds me of uh, Beacon, which I'm currently playing at the moment as well, um, and also Fourth Edition D&D, which some people aren't huge fans of, but I really enjoy.
It did a lot of
Um,
things well. It
so
just wasn't the right time, I think, when it was released.
mm, and the yeah, so I like that. What was the second thing you asked me? I've forgotten already.
Thing that you didn't like or wish was improved or that you think could be better next time. It could be about the game, it could be about the
Um,
setting, about yourself, it could be anything.
yeah, I think I'm the the only thing really that um, is I'm confused about how damage works.
Oh, okay.
um, but
Yeah.
other than that, um, I I mean, yeah, I found it worked. I found it sort of worked. Seemed to work pretty well. Um, there wasn't anything difficult or that I thought didn't fit or seemed out of place or anything like that. I think everything kind of yeah. I don't really have anything that could be better or anything. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned that you can make a turtle or a tort berserker that's damn near impossible to kill, um, which I wasn't thinking about that when combining
Yeah.
the features like that. But I mean, it makes sense, in universe.
Mm,
And the one thing you'd have to worry about is as a berserk version, you're going to get more chances to get critically hit, but you're going to be,
yeah.
hitting more often and then killing things faster. So it's a decent, reasonable trade off
Yep.
if you actually want to go berserk or not depending on how you're playing your party role at a given time. And there might be that first part of the fight you don't go
Mm,
berserk because you want to soak up some hits, and then you go berserk once
hmm.
it gets time to really killing people. I like that It's not like D&D where you just always want to berserk every single time, no matter what.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
next time we'll
I
be
think
level
that,
2 for sure.
yeah, I think that that kind of that crit aspect that you're talking about. I mean that sort of, in a lot of, well, yeah, in game like D&D, it's there, but it's not like a huge aspect of the game. Whereas in this, it's actually a part of the game. Like crits happen, like you say, they happen regularly. So that's kind of cool because it's kind of just a different, slightly different kind of a thing, and it changes, like you said. Like even though I have that ridiculous AC or
Defense,
whatever it's
yeah.
called, sorry, but
Defense, it's fine.
there's still a reasonable chance of getting hit. So that I like that because um, it just takes out a little bit of that kind of, min max kind of aspect to it. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of fluked because I just picked things that sounded funny to me or amusing
Yeah.
when I made that character, but it actually worked out to be a pretty tanky kind of build, but still, right at the end there, that skeleton was hammering me. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it
Gotta watch
was,
for the little guys. They get
you
you.
know, yeah. So and I like that because I mean, in in like in a regular D&D game, the little guys, once you get to a certain point, those little guys don't really have much chance.
Yeah.
And whereas in this, they've still got like a 1 in 6 chance of hitting you, and
Mhm.
that can happen. If you watch, in games or stories or movies or whatever, that sometimes
Yeah.
happens.
Dark Souls, man. Dark
Um,
Souls.
so,
Elden Ring. Those little things can still hurt.
so yeah, so I kind of like that aspect to it. It's just slightly different play style, which I think is cool.
Yeah. I think the Berserker worked out exactly how I expected it to, especially when fighting another heavily defensive target. You just had to get a little lucky and get those fives and sixes to get some good crits in there, or at least some good hits.
Mm,
Um, and you fought a level 3, like, I made a level 3 player character in my head as you came up here. I didn't plan on this Shadow Knight being here, but I know his stats and stuff and what he should be able to do. And so
hmm
one thing I like about my system as a DM, as a GM, is you can just on the fly headcanon things as you need to create creatures. And so I'm like, okay, he's gonna have 10 hit points per level plus 4 base, so he's gonna have, around 34 hit points, at level 3.
mm,
And so, or exactly 34 hit points. And so I forget exactly how much I used. I might have used 40. Let me go back and look.
mm,
We're up to 29. Yeah, that's why he only had 5 hit points left at the end there, actually. That's why he was heavily
hmm
bleeding out. And one thing I like is you can kind of describe how injured the enemy is instead of giving exact hit point totals. But if players want to know the exact hit point totals, they can use that assess enemy thing, that search for weak point feature
mm,
of the mind skill set to get that specific information. And I like that. You don't have to worry about players like knowing your creatures out of game, um, because you can, just give them the information anyways that they're going to want to get, through them working for it
mm,
by using that skill. But also, the creature creator compendium is going to be a separate book for dungeon masters. It's going to replace the uh, oh my goodness, the book with creatures in it. Wow, the help me here. Oh my god, my brain is
book
dying.
the
The
like monster manual thing or
Monster
what?
Manual, yes, yeah, it's replacing the Monster Manual with the Creature Creator Compendium. And so what it does is it teaches you how to make your own creatures using the system, and then
hmm
it's going to have a list of 50 pre-generated creatures for people just to run with if they want to. But the important thing about it is your creatures can level up, and so you can make stronger versions of your standard orc or your standard hydra based on what your party needs. And what you generally would do
hmm
is you would take your party's total combined levels and make sure the levels of your creature meet or exceed that. If they meet it, it's considered a
mm,
medium difficulty encounter. If you go half or double their level, that's considered a hard or extremely hard encounter. And so it just naturally
Yeah.
scales the numbers without having to fidget with the health points yourself. And if you ever need to on the fly as a dungeon master, a cheat that we like to use is things can always have more health. And so you could always have increased the base health value of it, the bonus health, to give it a little bit more. But I didn't do that on this guy. You beat him just fair and square as a level 1 character against a level 3 character with a minion. So good on you for
Well, I
that.
did have a little bit of help. I had a little bit of help. Yeah,
Some divine
yeah, it was fun.
providence.
It was good.
Yeah. And there was one situation where I used the rule where you get disadvantage on death saves if you've already gone down once a turn. And that situation, you died, and that was the end of your tail. In this situation, you got a lucky 6, rolled up, and finished him off, which I think is like the most cinematic moment ever. Like you could animate this whole combat
Mm.
encounter, and it would make a good short like video for YouTube. And so I
Mm.
might want to pay someone to do that at some point about the turtle who would not die, or the tort too angry to die. Like, could you imagine
Yeah,
like Cyanide and Happiness animating this shit? That would be the funniest thing ever. I would die laughing. So, but yeah. So other than that one little
cool,
skeleton that ran off to fight another day, you are complete. You have finished the encounter, and you now have a baby sea dragon to figure out what you want to do with on the next time.
cool,
Yeah.
awesome. All right.
Well, thank you so much for playing, man. I
Well,
really appreciate it. And any other things before
yeah.
we part
Thanks for
ways
running
and
it.
go to
It was
bed?
fun.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Hmm.
I just wish we had had more people, but you can even have fun with just single people games. So hopefully we proved that today.
Mm. Mm. Definitely. All right.
Alrighty,
Cool.
well, I'm gonna head off here and go
Thank
to
you.
bed and get my mics charged so they don't die on me in the middle of the session again.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Have a good one, man.
See ya. You too. Bye.
Bye.